After U.S. and British forces launched dozens of air and missile strikes against the Houthi militant group in Yemen, President Joe Biden on Friday said Washington and its allies would continue to respond to attacks on shipping and navigation in the Red Sea.
We will make sure that we respond to the Houthis as they continue this outrageous behavior, along with our allies.
Biden made the remarks at a campaign stop in Pennsylvania. Thursday saw U.S. and allied strikes hit military bases near airports in Yemen's capital, Sana'a, a naval base at Yemen's main Red Sea port, Hodeidah, and military sites near the coast. The Houthis, an Iranian-backed faction who have controlled most of Yemen for nearly a decade, said 5 fighters had been killed in a total of 73 airstrikes. They vowed to retaliate and continue their attacks on shipping, which they say are intended to support Palestinians against Israel. On Friday, Houthi supporters rallied en masse, burning American and Israeli flags in the streets. A United Nations spokesperson warned all parties to weigh the risks of a wider regional war.
We are just extremely worried about the risks and the greater risks of escalation.
Escalation is already happening. The question is how far it goes.
Malcolm Chalmers is the deputy director of the Royal United Services Institute, a defense think tank. He said for the Houthis, they have to weigh the costs and benefits of continued attacks on global shipping.
The Houthis, on the one hand, they are getting a lot of street credibility, a lot of support within Yemen, as well as in the wider Arab world, for, as they see it, standing up against Israel and its supporters in the West. On the other hand, the primary Houthi interest is maintaining and consolidating its position within Yemen.
I think they are.
Biden on Friday said he thought the Houthis were a terrorist group. The U.S. and U.K. were among 10 signatories to a joint statement defending the airstrikes and warning of further action to protect the free flow of Red Sea trade if the Houthis did not back down. Notably, Italy, Spain, and France did not come out in support of the operation.
I've already delivered the message to Iran. They know not to do anything. Hang on 1 second.
Will you continue bombing the Houthis if the attacks don't stop, sir?
Say that again?
Will you continue bombing the Houthis if the attacks don't stop? Will you continue with the strikes, sir?
We will make sure that we respond to the Houthis as they continue this outrageous behavior, along with our allies.
Do you have confidence in Secretary Austin?
I do.
I'm sorry.
Was it a lapse in judgment for him not to tell you earlier?
Yes.
Are we to de facto proxy war later on?
Say again?
Are we to de facto proxy war?
No. Iran does not want to war with us.
Are you going to call the Houthis a terrorist group, sir?
I think they are.
Were the strikes successful last night, sir?
Yes. I don't think there's any civilian casualties. That's another reason why it's a success. So look, we're going to get a chance to talk apparently after the fire station. So rather than, by the way, anybody want a coffee? It's on me. All right? You take the smoothie? Well, they're $6, but I'll do it anyway. Seriously, if anybody here wants anything, I'll pay for it, okay?
That's very generous of you.
And by the way, do we have all the stuff for the firefighters?
Yes, we do, sir.
Yes, we do.
All right, good.
Pastries and coffee, all wrapped up, ready to go.
All right, good.
Yeah.
They had such a run on business this morning, though.
Yeah.
They're getting low on supplies probably
We
right
are.
now.
We actually stopped selling food to the customers this morning so that we could send food to the fire
No,
providers.
we set it aside so that we
We
would
did.
have it
We
straight.
paid you, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for your generosity.
Yes,
But I'll
that's
be
awesome.
doing talking to you all after the firefighters, okay? Thank you. By the way, we're almost in heaven, almost in Scranton.
Yeah.
This is heaven.
Well, folks, ending a good day. we came up here to the Allentown area.
You said you think the Houthis are a terrorist group. I'm wondering how soon are you willing to designate them as such?
It's irrelevant whether they're designated. We've put together a group of nations that are going to say that if they continue to act and behave as they do, we'll respond.
You okay?
Thank you all. We do need to run after that.
How was the
Et je donne à présent la parole à la représentante du Royaume-Uni.
Thank you, President, and I thank Assistant Secretary General Chiari for his briefing. The attacks by Houthis on vessels in the Red Sea must stop. We have made this clear to the Houthis, and we call on them to de-escalate. The United Kingdom is committed to continue working with the international community and this Council to combat this international threat. We have published a summary of our legal position on last night's strikes and have reported to the Council in writing in accordance with Article 51 of the UN Charter.
Et je donne à présent la parole à la représentante des États-Unis.
The aim of these strikes was to disrupt and degrade the Houthis' ability to continue their reckless attacks against vessels and commercial shipping in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. These strikes were necessary and they were proportionate, as you just heard from my UK colleague. They were consistent with international law and an exercise of the United States' inherent right to self-defense as reflected by Article 51 of the UN Charter. Colleagues, the United States does not desire more conflict in a region already plagued by so much of it. Our aim is simple: to de-escalate tensions and restore stability in the Red Sea while upholding the fundamental principles of freedom of navigation. We need to also be clear about the role of Iran in these attacks. Without Iranian support, in violation of their obligations under Resolution 2216, the Houthis would struggle to effectively track and strike commercial vessels navigating shipping lanes through the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Every member of this council, and especially those with direct channels to Iran, should press Iran's leaders to rein in the Houthis and stop these attacks.
Et je donne à présent la parole au représentant de la Chine.
美国、英国等国对也门境内目标实施空袭，使红海地区紧张局势进一步升级。中方对此表示严重关切。红海水域是重要的货物和能源运输通道。一段时间以来，胡塞武装在红海水域多次袭击和扣押商船，干扰国际贸易秩序，不利于地区稳定。中方多次呼吁胡塞武装立即停止袭扰商船的行为，尊重各国商船根据国际法在红海水域的航行权利。我们遗憾地看到，有关国家对也门悍然采取的军事行动，不仅造成基础设施破坏和平民伤亡，也加剧了红海水域的安全风险，无助于保护商船安全和航行自由。
Господин председатель, признательно мы хотели увидеть в качестве докладчика генерального секретаря ООН. Главная задача Организации Объединенных Наций, закрепленного в ее уставе, предотвращать угрозы миру и подавлять акты агрессии или других нарушений мира в соответствии с принципами международного права. С большим сожалением констатируем, что вчера мы столкнулись именно с такой ситуацией. Вооруженная агрессия со стороны группы стран против другого государства. 11 января так называемая международная коалиция во главе с Соединенными Штатами и Великобританией, куда вошли Австралия, Канада, Бахрейн и, как они сами себя величают, столица мирового правосудия Нидерланды,